What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast. I am your host, Alex Cuesta. With me today is, you'll see a theme going on a little bit. I got Manchester people coming in and out because that's where I'm from, and I'm really fortunate to have a bunch of Manchester people support in what I'm doing, and best way to pay them back is let them come on and talk some sports with me. So today is a good buddy of mine. He was always in good shape. Now he's an absolute beast and a dude I wouldn't want to see on a dark alley. He is fitness trainer and coach at Circuit Works over in LA. He is Scott Forrester. What's up, Scott?
What's going on, Alex? How you doing?
Doing really good. Scott, where can people find you and your fitness freak self?
I have two tags on Instagram, or two handles. Scotty the Body 043. Scotty with a Y and Body with two I's. And then Beards and Bandanas is more of my my focus, like for working out, like instructional kind of stuff.
Yeah, and if you want, like, honestly, his name is Beards and Bandanas because the dude's beard, he looks like someone straight out of Vikings right now. How long did that take to grow? Because the last I really saw you in person, you were baby-faced.
Yeah, well, I was baby-faced mainly because of wrestling. But after, like, college wrestling, I didn't have to shave anymore. So basically since 2013, 2014, I haven't seen my face.
Goes to show how long it's been since we've actually been face-to-face, which is pretty damn sad. Did you get to see your family during Thanksgiving, or were you stuck in LA?
I went home for 2 weeks in September. I had two weddings. I had my cousin's wedding and a buddy from college I went to school with. So they were 2 weeks apart, so I was able to make it work. And then my mom and my sister just left about a month ago, beginning of November. So that was
always fun. Yeah, always good to go back and see some family. So you told me 2 seconds ago you're in the process of taking over that Circuit Works like branch franchise. So tell people a little bit about that. And what are you going to do when it becomes your baby? Do you have to kind of stick to a certain curriculum at Circuit Works? Like, how does that work?
Just a quick rundown about Circuit Works. The owner, Raphael, came up with the whole theme because he used to be a Marine. And he used to do like a little boot camp out on the beach in Santa Monica, Venice. So basically what he did is he just had like stations on the beach, and eventually people kept coming and coming and coming. And then he got a studio. And so basically now what it is, it's a 20-person HIIT class. There's 10 set stations on the floor, full body. So like one station could be push-ups, one could be box jumps. One's like work on your core with the TRX.
So quickly, for people that don't know, HIIT, high-intensity interval training. So it's a lot of body weight stuff, and only reason I know that, I don't know if you know about her, but there was this fitness trainer. She was a marathoner turned fitness trainer, Neela Ray. Her website was Dare Be. I used to use that all the time, and she used to kick my ass.
Yeah. Like HIIT training is like super intense, especially when you're not used to it. Like, yeah, like athletes, like they're trained a certain way, but we're so used to just like lifting weights and then like doing our sport. And like this kind of like combines everything, like with sprinting and just like moving your body, like functional movements.
Yeah. So if you're in the LA area and you're looking for something different, something to really get you in shape, because I have to say, like, I support Beards and Bandanas. I do all that. I've been following Scott since he put that up there, and you've definitely transformed because you were always in good shape. You always were muscular, but you are now just ripped, and in the least, mansexual way possible. I don't know what terminology to put it that's PC now, but in the least way possible that I'm not hitting on you, but I really am, Scott. You are just transform yourself, and you're just a beast looking now. Like, is that what the HIIT training will do for someone? It'll just transform their body in that way?
It really can. You can kind of use it like any way you want. Like some people like to use it just to burn fat a little quicker, because the focus of HIIT training is it just there's this whole thing called EPOC, post-exercise oxygen consumption. And basically when you're like elevating your heart rate and dropping it so rapidly throughout that hour of our class, you confuse your metabolism. So your body's still burning all of these calories for the next like 24 to 36 hours. So even when you're not doing anything, when you're at work, let's say you do in the morning, you're at work, sitting at the desk, you're burning calories. You do it at night, you're sleeping, you're kind of burning those calories still. So that's what's so great about it.
No, I have to ask, because when I ran at Marist, I had a not personal trainer, but our athletic trainer. He was very big into supersets. Is hit training kind of like a more elongated superset where you're just constantly kind of going and some sort of exercise motion?
In a way, it's just the way we do it is like we just involve the runs in between your sets, kind of. Like I'm really big on supersets. I love supersetting my workout. I make it efficient and time, like less time consuming as possible. So I'll like when I do chest and tries, like every time I do a chest movement, I do a try right after. If I do back and buys, like same thing. Like I really just try to tire out my muscle as much as I can to fatigue them because that's where you're really going to build that strength and that endurance. But what we do is you'll be doing like one specific exercise for about 90 seconds. And then directly after that, you'll go to the treadmill and I'll send you on a 90-second run, whether it's a hill, a sprint, a slow jog, like whatever.
That just sounds like hell. But if you are in LA, you need to get your body right because you just need to be walking around shirtless, hanging out on the beach. So I can't blame anyone for wanting to go to you. So we're not going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to start talking about sports so I can kind of make fun of you for your football teams.
Yeah.
And you can make fun of me back because, you know, I'm a Jets fan and they suck too. But you are a Dolphins fan. I asked you what your favorite teams were. I knew you were a Dolphins fan. That was just kind of run up. But I'm looking at the Dolphins this year, and I don't know if you looked at my predictions earlier in the year. I had them being pretty damn abysmal. And for all intents and purposes, how they've played this year, they don't look like a 500 team. They're really weird. I can't quite put my finger on what the Dolphins are this year. Are you happy with where they are? I think their record is deceiving. I think Adam Gase is kind of weird to me. Are you happy with how this team is going so far this year?
It's a love-hate relationship. Basically, I think we should be better than what we are. Injuries is probably our biggest problem, considering we've lost some D linemen due to the whole roughing the passer rule. Both two of our wide receivers, kick returner are out. My biggest thing, though, is Adam Gase. Like, I think he's a great coach. I thought he was great when he first came in. His play calling has been a little iffy for me. That's been my issue. There's no reason you should be running it on third and long and passing it on third and short. Like I feel like you should like kind of switch that around, especially like depending when the game's on the line. But I don't know. I think as a team as a whole, I think they've definitely have come together more, especially getting rid of Landry and Sue, like some of our big names, which definitely sad to see leave. But I feel like these guys have definitely stepped up. Free agency, Albert Wilson was a huge playmaker. We had to change up our line. We had a new tackle and a guard. They both got injured like the first and second week of the season, so that really screwed us up, which I think is our biggest downfall. Our linemen can't stay healthy, and whether it's Osweiler or Tannehill, it's tough to get our receivers the ball, which our receivers are, as a whole, are probably the fastest receiver core in the league. They all run below like a 4.4, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're beasts. And if you just look at this team, you look at a lot of guys that, you know, people know. If you know football, you know these names. You know Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, Danny Amendola, Jakeem Grant, just from his 40 during his combine. And then guys like Frank Gore, obviously Tannehill, Osweiler. Even on the defensive end, Cameron Wake, Akeem Spence, Robert Quinn. Like, you guys should be monsters. Minka Fitzpatrick has had a good year. Kiko Alonso,
crushing
it, is so good. But it's like, you should be better. And it's a weird thing. And I don't know if it's just the Patriots just kind of putting the pressure on our whole division where we all try to be so perfect that I feel like guys, I don't know, will themselves to injuries because they're trying so damn hard.
Yeah, I think it's also like playing at Gillette Stadium. Like, no one really wins at Gillette. Like no one.
No shot. It's so tough to win there. Now, speaking of Tannehill, I have to bring up, this is the first time in about like 6, 7, I don't even know how many years, 7 years that he doesn't have his safety blanket. The fans don't have their safety blanket. They don't have Matt Moore to come in and save the day for a few games. And it seems like throughout the past 7 years, Matt Moore has always kind of been like your steadying hand when, for lack of better terms, when shit's hit the fan with the team, Matt Moore's come in and given you 2 or 3 good games. And then all of a sudden, season's good again.
Yeah.
This year you have Brock Osweiler, who I don't think anyone's calling home about. I don't believe in Brock Osweiler at all. He had a few good games, but that's all Brock Osweiler is ever good for.
Yeah.
Where is your level on Tannehill? He's now been, what is this, his 5th season now?
Yeah.
4th season? So where is your pulse on Tannehill because his numbers are always good statistically. But if you look at the team, they're not getting to the level where Tannehill should be bringing them.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of Tannehill. Obviously, it was a little rough at first because like, why are you drafting a quarterback who played 3 years as a wide receiver at A&M, and his final year he was a quarterback? So that was like my biggest thing. I like that he was able to move around the pocket, but now every quarterback does that, so everyone knows how to defend that. But I like where his head's at. Like he's gotten better almost every year. I know he's dealt with that injury that really set him back a lot. But him like working with Gase, I felt like definitely opened him up. He's really getting the ball where it should be, rather than receivers just like running the routes and like I don't know, because I watched him when he first started out, and he was putting the ball in smart places, and the receivers just weren't getting to those places. Like he was like predicting where the receivers should have been, and they weren't, like on certain routes, like comebacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But also with our line not being healthy, he doesn't have much time to throw the ball. We've gone through linemen like Candy, I feel like. But no, I'm not saying all in. I'm like 75% on Tannehill. Like I want to see him finish out this season, and then we can see where we're at. Because like there's really nothing you could do mid-season. Like you're not going to start Tyler over him.
I feel like Miami and Detroit fans kind of have something in common where you have your franchise guy sitting there. He's been good. He's given you signs. He gives you hopes because Matt Stafford, I feel like, is going through the same thing. Even though Matt Stafford's playing bad this year, as a Lions fan, you look at it and you go, he's given us so much good times.
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on? And I think Tannehill, he's younger. Miami fans are going through a similar thing where if you're in the draft and you're looking at a quarterback who can be a franchise guy, do you grab him? Do you put that pressure on Tannehill and say, listen, this kid is going to replace you, but you better get us some wins? Like, you guys are in a weird spot. I don't envy Dolphins or their fans right now.
Yeah, like honestly, like we're in such a tough spot, especially like, all right, we made the playoffs 2 years ago. Awesome. Last year without Tannehill, had Jay Cutler. That was just that was tough. Like I believed in it was actually funny because before we got Jay Cutler, I think like a month before that, I said how bad of a quarterback he was and just like how terrible. And then boom, like ESPN's like Jay Cutler signs with the Dolphins 1 year. And I was like, damn. Like,
and now you have to support the guy.
I got to like this guy. I got to talk up for him. But I don't know. It's been rough because there's like 1 year, like our defense, like no one had, I think it was like 3 years ago, no one had a 100-yard rush game on us. The following year, we get the ball ran down our throat. The following year, we can't stop the pass. This year, our secondary is playing amazing, like amazing ball.
Well, Minkah has a lot to do with that. He is an unbelievable beast, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yes, but my big guy on defense is Rashad Jones. That dude is I think like a lot of people talk about the honey badger and whatnot. Like that's my dude if I want a safety. Like Rashad Jones is just everywhere on the field. I think 2 years ago he was second in tackles. Like the dude just knows football. Like he's blitz, he covers everything. He can run you down. Doesn't matter. But our biggest thing is right now, like we got to stop the run. Like if you can run the ball, then that opens up the pass, which our guys can only do so much.
You guys just need to play the Jets 16 times a year, so you could just whoop our asses all the time.
Yeah, my buddy's a huge Jet fan. We made a bet beginning of the year that
that's a terrible bet.
We would beat him. It was like $50 like before anything happened. We were like, screw it, like let's go.
So last thing, so I think we both agree that their chances at playoffs come on their health, and I do have to say there's two players on offense that you guys gotta let start playing some more. Leonte Carew, Rutgers guy. He was one of the most talented Rutgers receivers I ever saw. Throw the man the ball some more. And also Mike Gesicki. He's a short conference kid, tight end. He's unbelievably fast. I want to see you guys use him more.
When we drafted him, I was super stoked because I have a bunch of buddies out here that are Penn State guys. So I watched a lot of games with them, and he's a freak. Like,
yeah,
he just needs to get. I don't know, because I watch him on the field sometimes, and it's like he's not running his routes as hard as I would like him to.
Well, that was him. If you watched his 40, he's a glider. He's not a effort. You know what I mean? Like he moves, but he glides. You're not noticing him sprint so hard because that's just not his natural motion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wouldn't judge him because he's going to be your guy. I hope.
No, I'm super happy that we have him, and I want him to definitely get the ball more because we need to use our tight end. Like we finally got some big guys. We've always had short receivers. Devontae Parker had a great game against Houston, so we were about to trade him. So thank God we're keeping him because he showed some promise.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, so we're going to slide on because we have a few more topics to get through and very little time, Scott. This thing flies by, this podcast. It's surprising how quickly the podcast moves when you're in good conversation. But we're going to talk about your NCAA football team, which happens to be the rival of my favorite team, Florida State, who's awful this year. But your Canes are 6-5. You're bowl eligible. But last year, it really looked like the Canes were ready to take that step. The defense was playing well. Your offense looked like it was right about there to be maturing into a good offense. And this year, 6-5 has to be disappointing. You guys were ranked. Now you're unranked. I don't know. You know, I liked Rozier, who was your quarterback last year. Now he's replaced by a rookie, Perry. Like, what the hell happened? Mark Richt, your new head coach, was supposed to be the savior. What's going on in Miami for the Canes?
Definitely quarterback problem. There's no reason you should win 4 in a row and then lose the next 4 in a row. Like that
I don't get it.
Happen. But it's definitely at quarterback. I have a buddy out here, huge Canes fans as well, and we talk about the game sometimes at Golds, and we're like if Rozier has a bad game, the team loses. Like that's that. And now he's kind of getting into it. He's constantly having a bad game. You got Perry in there, still kind of new to it. Had a great. When he gets put in, he played pretty well, but he's also had kind of a shaky start. We just need a better overall quarterback.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of player issues. We just got rid of Jeff Thomas, who's our star wide receiver.
Yeah, but that's expected at Miami. If you're in Miami, you have that bad boy persona that I think guys just have to hold up. I think they just feel they have to be those guys.
Yeah, it's 2018, so it's kind of tough because you can't get away with shit like they used to.
Oh, everything's PC now. You can't do anything wrong, or otherwise you just get buried via social media, and then the school has no choice but to do certain things.
Unless you're the best player in the nation, like Jameis Winston, and you can do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because he went to a better school too. So,
what's our record to each other?
Hey, what was their record when they went and won the national championship? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How long has it been? How long has it been since the Canes have won?
01?
Quentin Portis? What? Willis McGahee?
Still the best team ever. Take that team versus any NFL team. Those players, that draft class.
I mean, it was unbelievable. It was when Jeremy Shockey was still good at football, and then he had one good catch in the NFL, and people thought he was still talented.
Yeah, right.
But so Miami, Mark Richt, what is your confidence level in him after this year? Is it just something where the personnel is not performing? Do you like his offensive defensive scheme? He had a very good time in Georgia. They let him go, but he's a really good coach. So are you liking what you're seeing out of him?
I'm liking definitely what the defense has stepped up. Our defense hasn't played balls to the wall the past couple years. Well, besides last year and this year. Mm-hmm. That's been great. That turnover chain, these players, it's something for these players go for even more. That turnover chain just gets flashier every year, and people just want that around their neck. So having something really fight for, I think is fun. Their offense, they're getting injured. They're losing their playmakers. They just need a better leader at quarterback. I think Mark Wright's doing a fine job. Give him another year at least.
Yeah, the only school that you can't have a quarterback and still win national championships is Alabama, because their quarterbacks are all always pretty damn terrible.
But at least when they go into the NFL.
Yeah, they're not NFL quarterbacks. We're going to stick with Miami themed because we're going to talk about arguably the GOAT in basketball, LeBron. You told me you're a big LeBron fan. I happen to be a LeBron fan. I don't know why people hate on the guy. I think people just love to hate on him just because that's cool to do in our social media era. But one thing I do have to ask, because I do think it kind of does hurt him, is the guy's been on 3 different teams, the Cavaliers twice. Shaq did it, but it didn't hurt him because he did it when he was over with his career, basically. He was kind of a role player at the time. Yeah. But LeBron's doing it in his prime. How is that going to affect his legacy that he went Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, and now Los Angeles?
Personally, I don't think it should affect his legacy at all. He won championships for 2 different teams. What's there else to prove,
And I think his biggest feat was to take some of those awful Cavalier teams earlier in his career to finals because he did the equivalent of what Allen Iverson did for the Sixers, but the whole time he was in Cleveland.
Exactly. Yeah. Cleveland, made the playoffs every time he was there?
I think they did. Yeah, I don't think they. I don't think has LeBron missed the playoffs in his career ever.
Well, I'm not 100%, but like at least the past 10 years he hasn't. Like I know that.
Oh, without a doubt, I will still put MJ ahead of LeBron in terms of accomplishments and overall NBA acumen. I think MJ is still more decorated, still the better player in that sense. But in terms of pure talent, I don't think we've ever seen a guy as talented as LeBron ever touch a basketball.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's huge. He can move the ball. The way he moves on the court is just you can't stop him. Like either you're scared to go against them or you physically can't go against them.
It's crazy. And I really said, go ahead, Scott.
I guess I watched more LeBron than Michael, so I'm kind of like a little LeBron. But like talking to my mom's a huge basketball fan as well, and she was a huge Jordan fan, loves Jordan, but she's a diehard LeBron fan, and she says it herself, like she doesn't like she thinks LeBron I think has the edge because it's just a different era. Like I think we're getting because the rules are different in a sense. I feel like it's just more you're playing the fouls now than you're playing basketball. Like there's less physicality. Like.
Well, yeah, you can't hand check. The mid-range game is dead. There's a lot of differences. You can't be as physical down low. But one thing about LeBron that, number one, he's generational. He would have been the top 2 player in any generation in the history at least. Because I don't know how he would compare against some of the best in other generations, but top 2, 3 at minimum, easily, any generation. But one thing about him is you can put him, he could be the starting point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. Pick one, and he's top 5 in the league at any of those positions.
Yeah.
At any time. And it's ridiculous to think that he's that talented.
Yeah, like literally last year, how bad did Cleveland start? They got to the trade deadline. He basically changed the team up, and they made it to the finals. Like, it's one of those things, like, I feel like he's doing with the Lakers right now. He's, like, trying to get the team to play with each other, at least those first couple to kind of get that feel. And then he, like, steps in. He's like, all right, now let's do it. You know?
Yeah, and I think right now with the Lakers, what they did is everyone talks about them bringing in Lance, bringing in Rondo, bringing in a lot of these veterans. I think it's more of the way of LeBron and these veterans showing the kids how to play. Showing Ingram, showing Lonzo how to play in the NBA. And then those guys are going to take a back seat because the young kids next year are going to have to do it. They're not going to have a choice.
Yeah, 100%. You learn by playing with the best, not playing – like you can play against the best, but you're still not going to know, like, how they're doing it. You got to, like, be behind the scenes. You got to know what's in their head, what they're thinking to do that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think LeBron, when, like, he'd be a great coach if he retired. I'm not sure if he's going to go with it besides maybe coaching his son.
I think he'd be a better GM because I think he's too intricate. Like I think he's too detail-oriented because I think he's similar to we both had Coach OD as our coach, Gerard O'Donnell. And I always said about OD, he's an awesome guy, great coach, but he knows football so much better than everybody. And his simple is everyone else is complicated in terms of X's and O's.
Yeah.
So he could never understand why certain times why we couldn't get concepts because he's like, I'm making it simple. It's a no, you're not. Like simple for you. And I think LeBron is in that sense where his simple concept in basketball is astrophysics to most other people.
Oh, 100%. He sees the game in just another lighting. Like
he's like Peyton Manning, I think, in that sense, where you can ask him and he'll be like, oh, I ran a play in high school and this is exactly how it worked. So I think if we could do this in the NBA, we're going to have to switch it up this way, but it should work. And it's like, but how? Like he's definitely that type of guy.
Playing yourself.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy. So in your eyes, do the Lakers contend this year? Do they have enough to knock off the Warriors once they hit their stride?
The Warriors, that's a tough one. But the way they're rolling right now, like they're rolling pretty well. Like they might have lost like 4 of their first 6, but they're 10-7 now. Like
they're moving.
They got the ball moving. Like they just played the Cavs. There was a lot of love shown. No hate.
As it should be.
Ovation when he went to Cleveland. Like that was awesome.
Yeah.
But no, I think I think they can definitely get a playoff spot this year. I think it's LeBron. Like he can. I actually said
I love them in the
I
playoffs.
literally said the Lakers were going to make it when he got drafted, or not drafted when he got traded. So
yeah,
I'm hoping.
So do you think Durant comes next year? I know there's all the rumors. My boy, who I've had on the show, Brandon Scoopy Robinson, he writer for Basketball Source, Basketball Society. He has been touting that KD is going to be in LA. What is your feelings on if KD goes there or not?
That'd be wild.
Fair.
It wouldn't be fair. Well, KD and LeBron, I think that's just game over. You can literally just you don't need the other three guys on the team, on the court, honestly.
It's insane.
Like, that'd be just amazing to watch between those two. Realistically, if it I don't know. I don't think it would happen, but who knows? Like, the way trades and these guys just bouncing over from team to team. Like, it'd be awesome to see, but I feel like it'd be hard for Durant to go play with LeBron.
Yeah. So we're going to jump to a team who is hoping that they have the next LeBron on their team right now. The Philadelphia 76ers, you said you're a fan basically because of Craig, because Craig does those things. He's pretty contagious. He'll make people like 100%. Things. That's just him. That's his personality. But you obviously follow the Sixers now. They're hoping that Ben Simmons is LeBron light, and he needs to develop a three, and then there's a chance that he gets it. But they made a move. They brought Jimmy Butler onto the team because they're trying to take over the East and jump ahead of the Bucks, jump ahead of the Celtics. Does the Butler move make them your favorite to come out of the East right now, or is there still more work to be done?
I don't know about favorite. I still think the Raptors are looking really good right now.
Yeah, Kawhi's the best player in the East, and it's not close.
Yeah. But no, they're showing, like, they're getting those close games. Jimmy Butler's really hitting those points when they're needed. But my big guy on the Sixers is Embiid. Like, that's just my dude. He's just
a monster.
He's scoring what he was averaging 25, almost 28 points a game. Like, dude's a savage.
And he's healthy. First time in forever he's actually healthy. We're seeing what a healthy Joel Embiid does.
Yeah. And he almost he just gets in people's heads too. Like, he's like that shit talker, but like
he's so much
like he's like also your best friend too. Like,
that's
you want to be his best friend, but he shit talks you.
His Twitter is great.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to jump into this. So now Markelle Fultz was brought on there to basically do what Jimmy Butler is doing now, create his own shot, be able to score at will. He hasn't shown the ability to do that, and his shot has been, pretty damn bad since he's gone in there. It's been injuries. It's been certain other things that have been reported as to why, but he can't seem to fix it. Are his days numbered in Philadelphia because of this Butler trade?
Yeah, I think he's going, especially with that injury that they just they brought to the surface. I'm pretty sure he's going to be done. I'm not 100% on top of it, like, as much as Craig. Like, usually it's like him and like a couple of our buddies. They're all from the Philly area, so I watch the games mainly with them. So I haven't seen them recently, so I haven't been on top of it or have anyone to talk to with. Yeah. But from what I've seen, I know there's been some trade requests, or they're trying to get some trade requests, but nothing, because he's kind of like he's got that injury. So it's like now it's going to be tough to get rid of him, I feel like. But he is young.
He's young. There is a chance, but I see him quickly going the way of Anthony Bennett, and that's unfortunate. Now, What do you think? Is this roster as constituted enough to win them a championship, or is it they need to mature a few more years? Do you need to get another piece? What do you see in order to make them contend?
I feel like they did a great job going through the playoffs last year. Obviously that roadblock with the Celtics.
Yep.
But that was the Celtics played so well without Kyrie Irving. Like, it would have been the Celtics in the finals if Kyrie was playing.
Without doubt, yeah.
But no, I feel like they got there pretty well. They overcame maybe winning 20 games the year before.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. They were right around my Nets bad.
Yeah, talk about comeback season. But no, I think they can definitely make a run. I think they could beat the Celtics with Jimmy now. But it's about smart playing. They just got to stay in it and give the ball to Embiid and Simmons, really. Just let Butler take it when he needs it on the outside.
I like it. All right, so we're going to jump into our final topic of the day. You told me you were a gamer. Since this is a sporting podcast, hopefully you play sporting games. Madden, NBA, what are your favorites out of the sporting games?
I haven't actually played. I'm actually about to get into FIFA soon. I actually do some game sharing with you remember William Anderson.
Yeah.
Me and him, we share some games through Xbox. That we have FIFA. Him and Dean Cantillan both said they need a wing. They actually just texted me a couple of minutes ago about that, so I'm thinking about maybe joining the squad.
Tell them I said what's up and to give this a listen.
I definitely will.
Tell me you were playing Red Dead, because I would respect you because I've been playing Red Dead.
Oh, dude, I play Red. Yeah, my girlfriend gets mad at me for playing Red Dead sometimes. No, Red Dead's a lot of fun. But like I don't know if you heard the game Overwatch.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, my shooter game got like Game of the Year last year. Was real big on that. Kind of fell off a little bit, but it's such a intense game. Actually, they have Blizzard as their arena in Burbank, north of me in LA, and me and my girlfriend went to one of their live gamings, and it was actually like pretty intense, like the fan base, and like it was wild. Like it was cool to be at.
That's a great bridge, because what do you think it's going to take for esports to get the respect it deserves? Because I had my buddy on here, Louis Torado Jr. He's the site expert over at thejetpress.com, and he's a big esports guy. He's a Twitch affiliate. He loves gaming and everything, and we talked about it. And one of the things I noticed is when it's on TV, they do so little of the actual game, and they do so much backstory, and I think that's what kills it right now. What do you think, because there's so many gamers growing up, our whole generation is gamers, when do you think esports gets the respect it deserves? Because I think it's a legitimate sport. It takes skill, it takes time, it takes practice, it takes training, just like any other sport. So when do you see it growing?
I say at least within the next 5 years. Like I already saw Overwatch, the championship was on ESPN.
Yeah.
I was actually bartending that night, and
nice.
I put it on, and everyone's like, "What the hell is this?" Like Overwatch, like this is my game, and all my coworkers like, "Are you serious?" And like a couple guys like walked in off the street, and they're like, "Yo, you guys got Overwatch playing?" And they were super stoked. So I was like, "There's people out there that like it." Like my one buddy plays League of Legends and Dota. Not the biggest on those. Those I don't see. Those are actually like the biggest though, like the most watched, which is mind-blowing to me. I think you need to get more like Overwatch, or maybe even from Fortnite. Like people like watching Fortnite. I'm not a Fortnite guy. I'm more of a PUBG dude, more realistic. But get in those like the more colorful games, that more action-packed kind of stuff. Like people get into that. Like they don't want to just like watch your cursor move around and you point to things, you know?
You see, it's interesting because now that esports is taking over, there's always been tournaments, and I love fighting video games, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur. I love Soul Calibur, and it's funny. I can watch people play Soul Calibur for hours if they're talented. So for me, if you're like a fighting gamer and you've been a pro and you've made your career off that, and all of a sudden esports comes and all of these kind of giant peer online games are really making it big. It's like, what the hell have I worked my ass off for? Like, kind of feel bad for those guys.
Well, I saw something about Street Fighter. They've been having some crazy tournaments as well, like for some big money as well. So they are getting some recognition, but it's weird how like Fortnite is just so popular. I guess because there's a lot of changing. There's a lot that you can like put into it, and you get like they do weekly updates. They constantly give you like new content, which is great. That's why I got Game of the Year this year.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I like a little more realistic. I like where video games came, like how digital like Blitz was to how like Madden is now.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. It's like a gray area because like there's games like Minecraft that are just like straight pixel, and people like freak out about
it. It's addictive. Have you ever played Minecraft? Because I played it a little bit, and I stopped playing it because I knew I would actually get addicted to it.
No, I never did play it because I feel like I don't like. I just the graphics don't like appeal to me.
That's what, and everyone has different. That's the fun part about the gaming world. Unlike sports, where there's like one league, one thing. In the gaming world, you have all these branches. So I do have to ask, we grew up in the generation of NCAA football, NCAA basketball, and I found those to be some of the funnest games because you could take your favorite school, recruit, make them into a powerhouse, and it was awesome. And for me, going to Marist College, like I played NCAA basketball, and I got to bring this little rinky-dink school from Poughkeepsie into national prominence. Like, it was fun. They had that licensing issue that was brought up years ago from the football players. I think it was from Northeastern. They're always trying to settle that, but I feel as a fan of video games, we're being significantly slighted by not being able to have these. And I knew when I was growing up, my whole agenda was never to get money out of it. My agenda was I want to be at a school and play football big enough so I can be in that game. I don't care if I'm just a number.
Right.
So I don't understand those kids. I think that kind of annoys me that they did that. But do you ever see a possibility of the NCAA games coming back, or is the licensing too big to jump over?
I think the licensing is definitely too big. 14? It's been 4 or 5 years since there's been anything. And then they even started getting rid of names, and it was just like numbers.
It's so sad.
So it's tough because I remember like when we were in high school and we had it, and Malice was at Rutgers, and we like tried to find him in there and everything like that. Like knowing people that went to college, like you would try to find them and like play them and like get them like the championship and stuff. I know what you mean. Loved it. We used to have NCAA tournaments at Craig's house with like Vogel and everyone. So I definitely do miss those a lot because either you were USC with like Matt Leinart or you were Texas with Vince Young, and like no matter what, you're gonna throw a touchdown pass or run the ball in.
And it's just, it's a sad thing that we'll never get that chance again to do anything fun like that. But overall, I guess the fight will rage on with NCAA, and that's for the lawyers to decide at this point, Scott.
Yeah, right.
But, all right, so this was a friggin' blast. Scott, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Alex, for having me.
Again, that's Scott Forrester, fitness trainer and coach over at Circuit Works in the beautiful, beautiful city of Los Angeles in California. I'm freaking jealous you live in paradise all the time, buddy.
Just got to be careful of those fires,
Oh, yeah, it's got to be careful. Yeah, you're not affected at all, right? You're okay? I should have asked. I'm a freaking friend.
It's within like 15 miles, but it's so north. Like I'm around so much buildings, it wouldn't affect us. It's just so much forest and trees up there that I got hit.
That sucks.
Yeah. But we've done our part to help do what we can. Like there's always more to do, but help donate and send relief. We have a place for people to stay if they need it.
Yeah, that's really all you can do. So yeah, if anyone's out there, everyone dealing with the wildfires still raging on, good luck. Hopefully the rain and the wind doesn't affect it negatively, like finding people and stuff, because I heard the reports that it's not going to help at all, really. But hopefully everyone works out okay and we're done with the fatalities over there.
Yeah.
But Scott, after that gloomy note, where can people find you on Instagram again?
Sky the Body 043. That's gonna be my personal, and then my fitness instructional videos is Beards and Bandanas.
All right, and I am Alex Cuesta, your host of the Sports Opinions podcast. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at @A_Cuesta30. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30, Instagram SportsOpinions30. Visit us on Facebook. Just go search for Sports Opinions Podcast. You'll find us there. And also, go Google search it. And you can ask your Alexa or Google Home, hey, play Sports Opinions Podcast. And they'll do it. It'll come in on TuneIn Radio, which is one of the places you can find this. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, YouTube. We're everywhere. You can't get rid of us. Stitcher. Go find us. And again, Scotty, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for having me. I'll catch you later, right? Maybe I'll see you next time I'm in Jersey.
Absolutely. Everyone have a good one.
Deuces.